History Month, I have the honor and the privilege to honor someone special in my life. He was the first black sheriff of Charles City County and the first black sheriff of the state of Virginia. And he's my uncle, and his name is James Nimmo Bradby. And I want to tell you a little history about my Uncle James. James Nimmo Bradby was a law enforcement officer. In 1967, he was elected as the first African-American sheriff in the state of Virginia since the Reconstruction era. And I want to tell you a little bit about the Reconstruction era. It was a period after the Civil War from 1865 to 1877, during which the U.S. struggled with restoring into the Union states that had withdrew and determining the legal status of African Americans. So I want to give you guys a little sidebar of information. Bradby, he was born in Charles City, Virginia, shortly before the onset of the Great Depression. He was the third born child and second son of Samuel Bradby, and we all know Uncle Data Sam as one of our deacons at our church, and Arnella Copman. And they had 7 kids. And I'm going to give you the names of the 7 kids. Reverend Ernest Bradby, which was my daddy, Bertha Bradby, Lois Bradby, Kathleen Bradby Carter, Loretta Bradby Crawley, and Samuel Bradby Jr. During the Voting Rights Act of 1965, they outlawed a number of devices that segregationalist Southern state governments had used since the Jim Crow era to disenfranchise African Americans. For the first time since Reconstruction, African Americans were able to visit the polls in large numbers, giving their own candidates a chance at office. Charles City County was 75% African American, and on November 7th, 1967, the county elected an African American sheriff, James Nimmo Bradby, and the county first black county clerk, Iona W. Atkins, for the first time in Virginia's modern history. Bradby ran as an independent and defeated M.D. Lampkin, a Democrat who had served as sheriff for 43 years, longer than Sheriff Bradby's own lifetime. Bradby and Atkins took office on January the 1st, 1968. At the time, Bradby was one of only 2 African-American sheriffs in the entire United States. Unfortunately, my Uncle James died an untimely death on March the 24th, 1968, at the age of 38. He was remembered as a conscientious and well-liked sheriff, despite the shortness of his tenure, including by his predecessor, M.D. Lunkin. One newspaper described him as a symbol to the members of his race of their increasing political strength in the South. Thank you for allowing me to give you some information on my Uncle James, the first black sheriff of Charles City County and the state of Virginia. Be blessed.